Welcome to a brand new adventure, and today we're at Low Moor Station, just on the outskirts of Bradford. And we're going to take a look at the old Low Moor Station. Not the new one where we currently stood, but the old one on the other side of that bridge. Now, the old Low Moor Station was quite, well, significantly bigger than this one we have today, which costs millions of pounds and is pretty new and took many years to build. But they kind of redid what we already had because there was a much bigger and better station on that side over there. Anyway, let's head over there and see if we can find anything remaining from the old days. Here we are on today's Low Moor Station. So as you can see, yeah, it's decent size, but it's pretty much what you get these days with a steel overbridge and some, I call them bus stop platforms. But yeah, I mean, this is the main route from Bradford through to Halifax and Lancashire and beyond. And yeah, it still runs today, part of the original railway obviously, but the old station was actually on that side and it was over here. So we are just heading over there now. I'm just going to try reiterate how different this looks today, as it always does, because you had a mass of lines all around here and a massive junction, because another line used to run down here and along this pathway that we see down here. And this used to be the Cleckheaton branch line, as I'll call it. So yeah, we'll call it the Cleckheaton branch line, as I always referred to it, or the Spen Valley Greenway, as it was also known. And today, yeah, it's a lovely cycle route, and we have covered a station on this further down, the station that got stolen. And that was just a few miles down the track. I'll just show you that before we head on. So again, this was a double railway here, double tracks, and you can see the old railway wall just in there. Yeah, hard to believe today, a huge junction and lots of lines beyond here which no longer exist. And just as we're making our way through to the other side, we're just passing this old building here. Now this is going to be a future video, because this was the old Bradford Transport Museum, or Transperience as it was known. And you've got the old trolleybus power poles just here and all the way down, because it used to use the old track bed here on the Spen Valley Greenway to run trolleybuses up and down. And I remember coming here on a school trip in the early 90s or the mid 90s, and yeah, having a great day out at the time, but this is long gone. So we've walked probably half a mile from where we were, and you've just got the M606 right there heading up into Bradford. Just to give you some context of where we are, this is the old Transperience site again, and the railway line is here, the Halifax-Bradford line. Now this bridge is where we want to start, because this is an original railway bridge. Not the actual steps that you see in front, but the actual bridge structure itself. And it was here even back in the Victorian times. So it is an original crossing. So let's head upstairs, and then I'm going to show you where we're going to head from here. Here we go, so you can see where the new meets the old. So this has always been a public footpath through the site, heading up into Low Moor. Now, if we pan to the left, like I say, you can see the current line today, right there where it always was. Now, Low Moor Station was on the right over here, and where we started the video is beyond those trees there. And all this here was railway sidings, and I mean big railway sidings, and a massive engine shed which was just further down on the right hand side. So that's where we're heading. We're going to try get down into these woods and wander off the beaten track to see what we can find. So just while we're on the bridge, we were just speculating the reason why the edging is so low there, and you've got this metal fencing. And I'm just saying that maybe it's because of the anticipation of electrified lines in the future. They've raised, when they've redone this bridge, they've raised it, so they've got clearance, because you can clearly see on the old section where it slopes down there to the original level, and underneath the little sides here from the girders. So yeah, I think they've raised that just for clearance. So we're now heading down to track level, as you can see, and I'm going to do my favourite thing and head off the actual path, which is up here on the right. Now don't worry, I'm not trespassing on any railway lines. We are this side of the fence, but I want to head down here because this is where you're more likely to find anything. So there's the main line just there, And like I said, all this section here was many branch lines heading off into a little sidings area all throughout these trees. Now we can see a little mound, I'll just point it out just here. That runs along, that is the boundary of the site there, because there's a footpath on top of that that runs off that way. So all this in here, what you're seeing, is what remains of these sidings. Now we keep spotting railway sleepers and bits of concrete and bricks in here. It could be from absolutely anywhere on this site, but nothing significant yet. And we're heading up towards the old engine shed, which is what I'm hoping to find something, and also the old station platforms which are further down. So whilst we're here, we've just headed to the rough location where there used to be a big turntable, according to the old maps anyway. And yeah, good luck finding it here, because it is just shrubs. Now, whilst we're here, we have spotted some bricks and rubble, as you can see there, look. And they are red, typical railway colours. So we think this turntable was around here somewhere, probably 3 feet below us, because it is quite raised here as well. And yeah, just rubble. We did expect to find maybe something, but yeah, absolutely nothing. Okay, so we're in a clearing now, which is right in the middle of all those railway sidings. And where I am now was a large engine shed right above my head. In fact, I would have been stood inside it. Now we think the engine shed started somewhere just before that fence, sort of here, and ran the full width of this area. And I think it had about 7 or 8 entrances into it for all the engines to park up, and it ran all the way back to the buildings just up there. So yeah, quite a big size it was. I'll try put a picture of that in for you now, and that would have been right here, but there's nothing remaining as I expected, and quite a few mounds like this one here, and there's another mound here. I always am very suspicious of mounds. I always think definitely piles of rubble that have just overgrown over the years. And if we just make our way into the side of the trees towards the railway line, this is where Low Moor Station, the old one, used to start around here. So you had the platforms beginning somewhere in this vicinity and heading down here. We're just going to head through these trees on the old, what we think was the old platforms, and see if we can find anything. This is Matt, by the way.
Hello.
We're going to head on and just see if we can find anything, but Matt's already spotted a suspicious looking brick over there. Bits like this that we've just found in the trees. Normally reds and the bluey grey was the railway colours, depending on which line you were on. And then big pieces of stonework like this, just randomly in the trees. Dressed stone as well, definitely from the old railway. So we think we've reached as far as we can go on this section, and yeah, quite disappointingly, we're not finding much. I thought there might be something, but there's absolutely nothing apart from bricks and rubble. Now this section here is now railway property, but again, this was all part of the station, and the building was about here, the main station building running towards the bridge there, and the lines obviously continue in that direction like they do today. But we're going to see if we can get round and a bit further up and see if there's anything up here. And just one thing of note, we've got the old railway terrace here, and it's still called Railway Terrace, as you'd expect. These would have been the old workers' houses, maybe from the site back in the day. Yeah, all still standing, painted white today and rendered. And then as we head up here, we've got an old cobbled street, again, as you would expect. Well, here we are on the boundary wall of the back of the station building. So right in front of us there would have been Low Moor Station. All of this, and obviously you can still see the cobble access road here coming down. We'll take a look at the top of that in a minute. And then this would have been like the car park at the back, or before the car park, where you would have parked your carts and accessed the station, whatever. But you can see sort of where it was, and yeah, it's private property now, so we can't go in there. This is the old perimeter wall, and it still stands today. And here's the station access from the other side, just here. Again, the cobbles down there. Not sets, those are definitely cobbles. And they're heading on into the site. We'll just have a little look over the bridge up here. So here's a better view from the top of the bridge, and there's the access road heading down. And here you can clearly see the site of the station. So the station would have been right here, obviously, next to the tracks, and all the way up there where we were, in the trees. And yeah, you can see bits of patches of concrete and tarmac down here, but it's absolutely nothing left. It is all completely gone, which is a bit of a surprise. Normally there's something, and mounds like this where it's just piles of rubble. You can see the old perimeter wall at the back there. That's where we were stood a minute ago. And that is pretty much it for this side. And then you've got the brand new Low Moor Station on the other side behind us. And there's the new Low Moor Station, which cost 14 or 15 million quid. Yeah, I don't know where that went because it's made out of wood and a bit of cheap steel. But so another point while we're here. So this is the Bradford, Halifax and Lancashire line here, or the LMY line. And then this one curved off in that direction, the Spen Valley line towards Cleckheaton and Hecknowyke and all that. We haven't done this yet, but like I said, we did do a station on this further down, Cleckheaton station, a couple of years back now. So we just made it around the other side of the bridge, just a bit further down from the old Transperience building, and this is the old goods shed, or one of the old goods sheds for the Low Moor line. So the line for this would have entered from the other side of the building and not this side, obviously. So the goods would have been deposited on the second level, and then the trucks would have driven down the side here and loaded up. And the grey building just behind is one of the old Transperience transport or trolleybus buildings, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, you can clearly see the old railway look of that building there, and there is a canopy on the other side that's still there today. There we go, I'll just zoom in for you so you can see that old canopy, which is in really good nick. And it's still there on the side of the building. So yeah, that's quite a large building. It doesn't look it from the front, but it goes all the way down, and it's 2 stories. So let's head round the other side and see if we can have a look at the back of it. You can clearly see the old brickwork there, and at this side is where the lines would have entered. So just at the end of this pathway here, there would have been railway lines coming in to the top level of the goods shed, and all the way from the main line up there. So where we started the video on the bridge, that was where the line broke off and headed down here for a little sidings and the goods shed. And just a little story worth a mention as well about the old Low Moor Station. In this area there used to be a lot of industry, as there is today, but I'm talking heavy industry. There was ammunitions works, gas works and everything all around here, and dye works. And there was a massive explosion in one of the ammunition places on the far hill over here in 1916, and it destroyed a lot of the area. It was an absolute mess, and I'm going to put a picture of that in for you now, just to show you roughly what the area looked like, and you can see the devastation that the explosion caused at the time, and it was massive. And as part of that, it actually destroyed part of the station as well down here, so a lot of it was badly damaged. A lot of the lines were badly damaged, and the engine shed and the ammunitions firm had to actually pay for all the repairs. There you go. I hope you enjoyed our little look at Low Moor Station, or attempted look at it anyway, to try find anything that remains, and also the bits in the area of the railway infrastructure. Well, I'll see you in the next video next week. Bye for now.